Hello, PBA LBC League Bowlers. I'm Neil Stremmel, your Director of Rules and Equipment for the PBA, and today I am joined by Matt Russo, multi-PBA champion. Matt, thanks for being here.
Absolutely, Neil. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. So, hey, I wanted to talk about a few different things, and you had a great year this year. Congratulations, good job. It was great to see. You did some changes from the previous year to this year, in my opinion. You know, you used to use a lot of urethane. This year you mixed it up a lot more. And I kind of wanted to ask you about that. Like, what made you, make those changes and why? What led to that?
Absolutely, yeah. I felt like, I bowled very well every season. I just felt like I was close, though. I wasn't getting over the hump. So after we bowled the first major of the year, the players, that kind of was eye-opening to me because I feel like I'm talented enough to where I can, make it when our left side is good. But I just wasn't able to get my ball to do certain things. I always had to have more angle in the front. My ball kind of hooks more down the lane than most, partly because my thumb was in the ball. So I couldn't clear it enough to where I was rolling it consistently. I'd do it good for like 2 games, and then I'd start to get trouble around it, get lined up that way, and then it would change a couple things. So took a gamble, decided I was going to take my thumb out right before the U.S. Open, and I was like, if this is going to be the tournament to try it, let's do it. And made the cut at the U.S. Open, made match play as well. So kind of just rode that and then started making shows. I made the show in Springfield and then started bowling good. I was close every other week, and then we got to the World Series, and, I led the World Championship by a whole bunch, and then I won the Scorpion title. So the biggest thing I noticed without my thumb, I was able just to keep my angles more shut down. So the reason why I threw urethane a lot was because I had more axis rotation. So the urethane ball slows down the fastest, able to use more surface, so that allowed me to stay against the friction. Without my thumb in it, my ball roll was a lot better. My axis went down, so it was more forward, end over end. So it allowed me to stay against the friction, keep my angles shut down, which we need here on the left side. And the biggest thing was my ball speed. So the ball speed went up. So it kind of allowed me just to be more comfortable out there. And my pin carry got better, and it was just more consistent.
Yeah, more ball speed, more power. And so making that transition for you had to be something that you had to work through. You said you were close over the last few years, yes, and then you said, you were close for a few tournaments. You were really close. Like, you were right there, TV shows, et cetera, and then pulled out, good victory. And so I guess I wanted to kind of see, like, okay, now what does that urethane look like for you, and then what do you see with some of the newer balls that you've been trying, and why do you pick what you pick?
Yeah, I think the biggest learning curve for me is the urethane ball. It's changed a lot. I don't think I can use it as much, which I'm okay with. I think in the game today, but I think in today's game, a lot of the two-handers, they stick to urethane only, and not that that's bad. I think it's just you need to learn other things, right? You need to learn how to throw the reactive ball, because when it's in play, if you're on a win, you got to throw it.
Yeah.
But for me, the urethane ball's been tough. I'm still trying to figure out how good can I be in certain spots with it. But I prefer the reactive ball way more than I do just the way that my ball reads the lane. But I'm open to the urethane ball. I threw it on the cheetah pattern when we bowled the World Series, and then I didn't throw it the rest of the time at the World Series. I threw it at the TOC, kind of have to in that building. They hooked a bunch, and we bowl on generally flatter. So
keep everything simple.
Yep.
But just looking at those changes, obviously there's going to be a time for it, but it's nice to know that when there's a time something else will be better, you're ready to go with that. So I'd like to take a look at that. I'll let you get warmed up here, and then why don't we take a look at a couple of different options.
Absolutely.
All right, great, let's do this. Yeah, that ball motion just looks smooth. Early, you're deep for a lefty, but ball motion looks great. Comes in solid.
It allows me to hit it. I just feel like it allows me to hit it as hard as I want, and I know what it's going to do. To where sometimes I feel like with the urethane balls, when I hit them, are they going to read the front too early? Is it going to put too much when it sees a friction down the lane? I just don't feel as comfortable. I feel like I have to do something that I don't want to do, versus I can just bowl. Get up there and just throw it. Yeah.
And that's a large ASIM?
This is a big ASIM. Yeah, this is a pure Envy, so a little bit cleaner than Extreme. similar, same tour, new cover, same cover that's on the Effect is on this ball. I used Extreme Envy a lot this year, World Series especially. Threw that one on just about every pattern. Super slow, allows me to stay against it. So this one has a little bit more continuation, a little bit cleaner.
Definitely does. Little trip 6.
Nice one. How's it doing? Oh, this pair better like me tonight, I'm telling you.
Very nice, very nice. Very consistent. Good shots. Do we want to take a look at the Deviate ball?
Yeah, this is a brand new Deviate ball. It's called the Mantra. This one here is a cleaner ASIM. Believe it's a new core. I know where it fits, so we have a Trat Theorem, which is a little bit cleaner ASIM from Trat. It's probably one of our cleanest. This one's right above there. So they took kind of what we like out of the ASIM balls and kind of put them all together.
All right.
So,
let's take a look.
see this one. Be about 2 right off
Yep.
the last one.
Yeah, that looks nice as well. Yeah, you went right with your feet, a little right with your eyes also.
Yep.
And it just went out, came back.
Funnels
so again,
into the lane.
if you got some hold, you're definitely getting around that and using that hold. So not always going to make it back.
No. That one I just saw how much we can cook them, but
Yeah, you gotta try that. You gotta figure that out. You gotta see how much space you got. For me, that's a lot of what bowling's about is where can I find the most room? What's
Yep.
going to give me the most space for air? What part of the lane? What ball, etc. So I don't know if that's your thought process. as
yeah,
well.
margin of error I think is the biggest part of the game. I do coach outside of bowling the tour, so that's what we teach. Margin of error, how can we create the most area down the lane or in the middle with surface and bowling balls. So once you learn that, the idea is just let it go. Once you let it go, the bowling ball takes over. So if you can create 3 boards down the lane, you're probably going to more than likely find yourself towards the top. Sometimes 2 boards is enough, especially when they're a little bit flatter on the harder side. But I kind of just watch my ball motion and kind of pick what I want to do and what I like to see and go from there.
Hey, that's great. Thank you for your time. I loved watching, but I also love just hearing your thought process on going through, small little arsenal, how you pick, what you are going to decide. So you had 2 larger ASIMs, if you already talked about, the urethane wasn't going to be the ball for this, but between the 2 you had left, like what would you, if this was your situation, what would you start with?
If I was trying to get a new ball on television from my brand, I'd pick the Mantra. Pure envy for sure. Just off of the couple that I threw, it definitely wanted to pick up a lot sooner. Allowed me to throw it a little bit faster at the friction to where I felt like the Mantra, the one shot I threw that double wood was okay. If that one would have gotten 9, it would be a little bit closer. But I think until I had to maybe move my feet a little bit more and it stopped hooking or flat 7s and start to see it go a little bit later down the lane, I would have went to the Mantra. But Pure Envy would have been my ball of choice.
Yeah, so okay, that makes sense. But then also is the thought process that, a little bit into this, couple games into it, I was already deeper with that. I could go to that. That'd be my next.
Absolutely,
next ball.
yeah. Surface pad, maybe not that shine down a little bit to see if it would kind of pick up a little bit sooner. But the purpose of that ball is to be cleaner than the Pure Envy. So I wouldn't want to change the surface too much to where it wouldn't be then cleaner. So yeah, we'd do Pure Envy for probably a game and a half, and then get into Mantra and then keep going. So.
All right, that great. I love hearing that thought process, and that makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to all the league bowlers out there. I hope the league bowlers took that in and kind of learned, hey, when I'm getting ready for league or a tournament or whatever, this is kind of a thought process to go through with your 3-ball arsenal. And so I hope you learn from that, and I hope you continue to support our sport. Thank you very much.